I hope we open the door today for you to see the efficiency. This isn't new to Wowza, but we're getting really, really good at it. And so Ian is going to walk us through what we're offering now. It's on our website, the trial experience, but it is amazing if you're not using Docker to get acquainted with Docker and particularly Wowza Streaming Engine Manager. It opens up a remarkable efficiency. So if you haven't used Docker before, I'm excited because I think this is a great webinar for you.
You hear a lot about Docker these days and what is it and what does it do for you? So it's a lightweight, portable environment that sort of encapsulates dependencies needed to run software. And in our case, it includes Java and Wowza Streaming Engine. It's a lighter weight way of using it than trying to run a virtual machine. It's portable, it's very efficient. A lot of modern cloud deployments use Docker containers, and whether that's like Kubernetes, Amazon Elastic Container Services, Google Kubernetes Engine, and other ones, stuff like that. Those are all sort of using Docker containers under the hood to be able to run those things. One interesting thing that Tim and I were talking about the other day was, well, why wouldn't I use an AMI, right, Tim? So why wouldn't we use an AMI, right?
Right. Because when you go to AWS or Google or wherever you're building an actual maybe Linux or even a Windows image in one of the superscalers, there's a lot going on there. You have to deal with literal networks, not virtual networks. And there's just a lot of, I think we'd call it overhead. And it's not, I don't want to in any way diminish the value of running on an AMI because it's obviously very powerful. But Docker really makes it, I think it just creates this neutral environment. It doesn't matter where you're running it, whether it's on a Linux machine or a Windows machine, it even runs on Mac. You're looking at the same page of music. And when you get to that point, you can focus in on your streaming objectives versus managing an operating system, managing volumes and security groups in EC2, for example. So it really does level the playing field once you get familiar with it.
And it allows you to quickly iterate as you're developing, whether you want to try different scenarios, especially if you're trying to upgrade engine and you want to go back and forth between different versions of engines. It's much easier to change one line in a config file and start a new version of engine versus uninstalling engine, maybe rolling back Java, reinstalling it, missing some files. It's just kind of turns into a headache. A Docker container is a self-contained environment with everything on it. So
I used that line with Ian yesterday. It works on my machine. We were doing a little test in prep. For sure. But I'd also ask, raise your hand if you've destroyed a Linux instance on EC2 and you have to start over and you've got 20 to 30 minutes of rebuilding an instance if you're not like super good at it, which I could fall into that category too. So Ian's raising his hand. It's so cool. If you blow up Wowza and you've got all your transcodes, everything's all just overboard, or you blew a property or there's a syntax error, you can just kill your Docker and bring it right back up in seconds. So it makes your iteration go so much faster when you're trying to get to a production point.